Hello, can you see me? No, you can't. I guess we need some light. Ah, you can see me now, but this is now not how you would like to see me. Normally, this light is enough to light a room, but for television, it is not enough. So we need some more lights. Now you can see me clearly and the background is visible too. How is all this done? Certainly, there are certain lights which give better illumination. That's not all. They have to be set up in a particular way to create certain effects. Let us see how it is done. For television, there are two kinds of lights depending on how the light is dispersed. This determines whether or not the light would cast its shadow. Either the light source emits a focused beam or it scatters all over the place. The localized lighting, which comes from small concentrated point sources like this Fresnel lamp, are called hard lights. This light provides hard and well-defined shadows. You can see that the shadow of this person still has a hard edge, even when she moves away from the screen. The other kind of soft light produces shadowless illumination. You can see how the shadow disappears very quickly when the person moves away from the screen. The dispersion of light can also be controlled by diffusers, which diffuse and soften illumination. Diffusers are sheets of some translucent materials and are fitted over the front of the light source. Diffusers can also be used to cut down the overall light from any lamp. By altering the density of the diffusers using a sandwich of 1, 2 or 3 diffusers, we can reduce light levels without resorting to electric dimmers. It is often essential to control coverage of the lighting and not allow it to spread uncontrolled. For this purpose, barn doors are used extensively. Barn doors prevent the beam of one spotlight overlapping onto an area lit by another, or to restrict light to a localized region. Now we come to another important aspect of lighting, that is direction from which the light falls on a subject. Light falling on an object from different directions gives it a different look altogether. This leads us to another problem, that is where to place our lights. Here is our object. It is a statue. If we light it from a dead frontal position along the lens axis, no shadows are visible. That means signs of texture or surface undulations are minimum. This kind of lighting produces a flat effect. As we move the light further around the object, shadows of surface projections grow. When the light source is almost in line with the object, surface irregularities are given maximum emphasis. If we move the light behind the object, then we get a silhouette of the object. Only the edges would be lit up. We have just seen the effect of moving one light around an object. Normally, more than one light is required to illuminate an object or a person. Let us now see how to illuminate a person using more than one light. Let's light up the face by placing a key light here. In this position, the shadow of the nose is neither missing nor is it too long. Now we must light up the shadow projected by the hard light. For this purpose, let's try and successively use a hard light and a soft light to see the difference. We see that the hard light casts yet another shadow in the opposite direction. However, if the second light is a soft light, then it illuminates the shadow areas without casting its own shadow. So, soft light is appropriate to use as a fill light. Till now, we cannot easily distinguish the person from the background. We can give the person a definite outlining by lighting her from the back. Now her head and shoulders would be lit up. This clearly distinguishes her from the background. So these are the three lights we use for lighting up a person. So far we have been dealing with lighting in studios under controlled situation. But when on location, we do sometimes face problems in lighting as the daylight cannot be controlled. Here is a scene in a room with a window. We have also placed some lamps in the room, but they are not turned on. This is the scene lit with daylight. But sometimes daylight is not enough like this. Thus, we have to use artificial light as well. But mixing daylight and artificial light causes problems. The color temperatures of the two lights are different, and when they are mixed, we get undesirable effects. In fact, the camera is adjusted depending on whether daylight or artificial light is used. Here, the scene is lit by daylight and the camera is adjusted for daylight too. If the camera were adjusted for artificial light, this is the effect you would get. The daylight now appears blue. You can see the reverse effect if we draw the curtains to eliminate the daylight and just use artificial light. The color now seems correct. But if the camera were adjusted for daylight, the artificial light would seem yellow. Adjusting the camera is called color balancing. First, the filter in front of the lens is changed. Then, electronic adjustments are made so that a white card appears white in color. Now let's go back to the problem of mixed lights. Sometimes you cannot eliminate the daylight, but you still need artificial light as well. What you must do then is to change the color of the artificial light. This is done by clipping a blue gel sheet in front of the artificial light so that all the light falling on the subject is blue. The camera should then be balanced for the light falling on the subject. And this is the result. So now we have shown you the basis of lighting, and that's all you need till there is a power cut.